What is up there, guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of The Evolve. We need to get right into it on today. So, you guys remember when they had that whole thing with RoyceDa 59, rise and fall of Slaughterhouse, and they were all on that Instagram live, and Joe was like, it was a mess. Well, Royce recently went on the Breakfast Club. He he rehashed and re-brung up a lot of stuff, and I want to go over it. I want to talk a little bit about it. Well, actually, just bring y'all up to speed of what he said, because Crooked, he responds just a few hours ago to what Royce and his partners were saying about them once again on live. So let's just get right into it. So basically, in this first clip, in this first audio, Royce, he kind of talking about how Joe Budden, he actually was going to rap, that they got off of Slaughterhouse, and Joe, he agreed that he was gonna rap, and they were gonna put out merch, and well, they got off of Shady Records, and now Slaughterhouse was going to put out merch and hats and shirts and do an album, and Joe was fired up, and Joe was actually ready. This is something different that we actually saw, but let's play the audio.
Me and Joe are sitting around minding our own business, and we look up and they start rolling out a project. The project was called The Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse. They put this project out, and the project is announcing to the world that the group is over. And this is while we had already went through a long negotiation with Shady to pull the group off the label so we can do things moving forward, so we can make another album, so we can relaunch merchandise, so we can relaunch everything Slaughterhouse. And for whatever reason.
So y'all were gonna do another album. Even Joe was gonna get in the studio and do another album at that time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Basically about how Joe not gonna rap. Crooked came to the table with a deal idea. We didn't want to do it, so they over it. They're done. The group is done. And I just felt like that was a hell of a thing to blindside me with as a friend and as a business partner, because number one, if the group is gonna be over, that's fine. Things end all the time. Just let me know that. Send me a text. Shoot me a text letting me know you're done. Or if you're gonna go public and say that you're done with the group, that's cool. But don't just go public and just announce that the group is done. You know what I mean? Like, I expected more out of Crooked. I didn't have as much of a problem with Joel, because, you know, me and Joel always been cool, but me and Crook, I thought we were better than that. You know what I mean? So it was more of a personal thing. You know what I mean? But I can't bring myself to a point where I can get on a public platform and bash any of them, though. You know what I mean? I got too much love for them, and I think the amount of love I got for them is what made me so disappointed. You know what I mean? So it go back to what I was saying earlier, just about, you know, airing out how I feel on public platforms.
So yeah, so you got that going on, and you hear Royce, he explaining, well, no, I'm kind of once again taking Joe's side, but here in this next clip, Royce, he was asked, hey, well, why are y'all like mad that they made this own, and they went on and pursued their own album when Joe actually didn't end up wanting to rap? Why did they have to continue to wait on y'all too? Why are y'all mad at that? And Royce explains.
You know, so that's one of the things that I'm working on. So to answer your question, no. No more Slaughterhouse, but still nothing but love, always.
I respect everything that you said, and I feel like that should have been an easy conversation for Crooked and Joel, because Joe don't want to rap. So if he don't want to rap, there's no Slaughterhouse. So why shouldn't they be able to go do their own project?
Well, it's easy to paint Joe as that because of how many things he said publicly. But when we having conference calls, and he's a part of every call, and we having creative conversations about what we're gonna do next, you know what I mean?
He was gonna get back in there and do it.
Joe's thing is, I'm retired. I'm in the content space, but I'm really into ownership right now. I will rap in Slaughterhouse if we own it, but we gotta own it. It can't be on Shady, and if we decide to take it to another label, I would be particular on how we would do that deal because we already built this. This is something we built already.
As y'all should.
And I agreed that it shouldn't just sit on Shady. It shouldn't just sit on Shady. If Shady doesn't want to release it, and this is respectfully because I love them too, always. It shouldn't just sit on Shady. We built it. It's ours. So when we got it off of Shady, man, that was like fulfilling. It was bittersweet. It was bittersweet because it was like, damn, I had a vision for doing this with my good friend. You know what I mean? But it didn't work out for obvious reasons. So getting it off of there and still now having it back in our possession and having something that we built, the first tangible thing that we built in this business organically, you know, multi-million-dollar brand that we built from the ground when everybody told us, nah, y'all been around the block, y'all can't, oh man, y'all never be able to do festivals, y'all don't have songs, y'all don't have.
So when I heard this next part, there was this, who used to say, know your role, jabroni? Who used to say that? It was a wrestler or something, but this was, Royce kind of brung up the know your role type deal on Crooked here because basically in this next little audio, he's just saying, hey, Crooked brung a deal and he wants to bring deals. That's not his role. That's not what Crooked do. He don't do deals. Trying to do it. Play the clip.
Hooks, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we kind of like defied all of those odds, you know what I'm saying? So to get to that point with Joe being way more knowledgeable, obviously myself being way more knowledgeable, and then just having it in our possession and for them to just jump the gun like that because of a deal that he put on the table, which that's never been his role in the group. But I mean, anything that anybody put on the table, I would consider it, but I think that we should be allowed to ask questions, right?
All right.
Like if I put something on the table for us and you ask questions, or even if you say no, does that mean everything is over, or does that mean we go to another label? We hadn't talked to any other labels yet. We hadn't even talked to a label in that situation. We talked to a guy who was talking to a label. We never had nothing on paper. There never was a proposal in black and white for us to look at. It was just a conversation. He didn't like how the conversation went. So he decided, fuck them, we're gonna go do this.
Do you feel?
So, this next clip, this is where I think Crooked really got like triggered, and you'll see. And this is where, because they start to talk about how it was just a bad deal. Crooked don't know what he's doing, and for some reason Royce also explained how there have been several times that Crooked had came to him and say, hey, let's just do this for the money because me and Joel need the money. Apparently, according to Royce, Crooked was coming to them saying, hey, can we do these projects because we need the money?
Playing devil's advocate, right? Do you feel like,
white devil's advocate?
White devil's advocate. We know Joe is doing well with his content, creating everything that he's doing. You're obviously doing well. Could it be a situation where maybe Joel and Crooked weren't doing as well because the group was so much financial for them? I mean, y'all were going on tours. I don't think y'all ever really got the money that y'all deserved yet. Do you feel like maybe that was their way of saying, look, I got to feed my family at the end of the day?
Possibly. And I mean, listen, that makes it even worse because it's like, bro, if that's what it was, who you supposed to have been talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like, who wouldn't understand? Who would understand that more than your brother, me?
Right.
The guy who been up and down, just like anybody else in this business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand the ups and downs. So if this is a downtime, and this is like something, because there's been plenty of things that I've done. Because one of my rules in the group was I'm not doing any 3-man shows. All
members got to be there.
All members got to be there. There's been plenty of times Joe couldn't make it where they were like, yo, listen, we need you to come do this because we need the money. And I did it. You know what I mean? So, what is that?
It was just a bad deal. Like, Royce is going to be political. It was a bad deal. They positioned a bad deal. And they used a lot of stuff that was happening within the group. It was just a bad deal.
And then the final part that Royce talks about, he talks about how Crooked was It wasn't Joe. See, all y'all thought all this time that it was Joe that didn't want to rap and that was holding up the group. Royce, he exposes that it was actually Crooked that didn't want to rap. Crooked is the one that didn't want to rap and was holding everyone up because he had a problem. He had a problem with Joe the whole time, and just he always had a problem with Joe, and it was Crooked. Let's play that clip.
The bad deal
there were
wasn't the right person.
There were times when Joe was ready to rap, and we couldn't get Crook to rap. We don't talk about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
why couldn't Crook rap? Crook always ready to rap.
Crook didn't want to. No, see what I'm saying? See, people got the wrong impression about people, and that's why Joe is easy to paint as a certain thing.
He's an easy target.
Yeah, and Crook and Joel look like the blue collar guys.
Correct.
You know, the guys who willing to roll their sleeves up. Fuck all that. Crook. He had his ways about him the whole time. He always had some issue with Joe that he wouldn't address. It was always in the air. I can't quite put my finger on what that was, but this nigga that made Joe diss records, he done did all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? People just didn't hear him. You know what I mean? But he did it. He did it. And there was a time where he was like, nah, I ain't rapping. You know what I mean? Nobody fucking went out and put out an album about him not rapping and saying that the group is over with. It's messy. And then on the business side, it's like, yo, you're not fucking up our shit. You fucking up your shit too. You know what I mean? We all taking the same L together. And then, you know, like during the whole process, you painted me in a certain light. You had to paint me in a certain light in order to be able to do that. And I'm just trying to figure out what did I do to deserve that?
And I'll just see what y'all have to say in the comments. What do you all think? Whose side are you on? Do you kind of understand Royce, or why they bringing this back up? Or was Crooked wrong? Crooked and Joel wrong? I want to know what y'all think in the comments on all of this. But we're just going to end. As always, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I'll see y'all next video.